But before we go, today's the report of 17th of January. Now, news events, important news events that came out. Oops. Okay, so here's the news events that came out, and today I want to talk about the rate cuts and when would QE start. For those that are still new, QE here refers to quantitative easing. Now, so as mentioned in the previous report, it's anticipated that the Federal Reserve will implement 3 rate cuts within the current year. The present Fed rate stands at 5.5%, with the Fed's projected rate for 2024 this year, as per the summary of economic projections. This is from data coming out from these economic projections. You can get this data from the FOMC area, yeah? So they project 2024 for the Fed rate to be at 4.6%. That means it is more or less confirmed that that will be rate cuts already. So we are talking about a 0.8% percent chance over here. Now, if you look at this 0.8%, so probably you're looking at 3 cuts right over here. Based on this value, we're talking about 3 cuts, okay? So what can happen over here next is that's for 2024, but when it comes to 2025, the Fed rate is expected to drop to 3.6, and in 2026 is expected to drop to 2.9. Now, with this, these are the expectations, provided that inflation won't rear its ugly head again. But so far, we have seen inflation, they are okay. They are dropping. Okay, so since the summer of 2022, the Fed has been allowing 95 billion worth of treasuries and mortgage-backed securities to mature each month without replacing them. So what they are doing actually is effectively taking money out from the market, not issuing new money in the market, reducing the money supply. So when you reduce money supply, inflation will drop, right? So far, they have reduced a total of 1.2 trillion US dollars already. Okay, so in January this year, the Fed removed 38 billion so far. This is as of yesterday, yeah. When I looked at the data, so they have removed 38 billion in this month in January, the first 2 weeks. And in December, the whole of December 2023, they withdrew nearly 68 billion. Okay, this is the cap here. 95 billion is the cap. So you can see that the Fed is still slowly taking out money from the system right over here. So when money is withdrawn from the system, it leads to a decrease in available funds for spending, thus contributing to a reduction in inflation. So once the Fed decides on its first rate cut, okay, whether it's in March or whether it's in May, we can expect the current 95 billion cap to be lowered. Okay, so they will start lowering this value first. Right now, they still set the cap at 95. So when they've cut, right, to control everything, to ensure everything is okay, they will need to reduce this so that there is more money left in the system rather than taking out, okay, until this value hits 0 over here. So when it goes to 0, subsequently, they may introduce quantitative easing. So this is called QT, quantitative tightening, where they take money out from the system. When it goes to 0, the Fed machine will start again introducing QE, which involves putting money back into the system. So now everybody is waiting for QE because the US economy is the debt-filled, it's a debt-filled economy, right? And they need this free money being injected to for things to be moving. They are so used to it for so many years already. So when they talk about rate cut, definitely they'll be thinking about this very, very fast. So would we see QE this year? I think that's the question. Because when this comes in, then you will see the economy starts to pick up again. Now, so far, what we've seen based on the data, the CPI data that we have seen, the jobs data that we've seen, is evident that inflation are still rising, uh, although in a slower rate. Okay, it is still there. It's still rising again. It's a slower rate. So is this acceptable? That's the question. So because it's still rising based on the previous data, I still believe that QE is still far away until there are significant changes in inflation. We need it to drop to probably about 3, then I think um the Fed would be fine with it, you know. So we are not that far away. Okay, they're still rising a bit, but it's not that far away. It still can come down probably if they start taking out more money from the system, and probably will work. So with 2024 being the election year now, this is another part that everybody needs to understand. Election year, the Democrats would prefer an easier policy to prevent the market from crashing. Trump hopes that the market will crash. That will boost his election chances to be then back as the president again. Well, the Democrats will do all their best to prevent that. That's the reason why I would say that this thing will take some time because they have to manage it properly. They cannot just simply cut rates over here, and if inflation goes up again, yeah, that is not a good thing, right? So if the Fed cuts the rates too fast and inflation rises again, right, it could be a bigger headache later on. So they have to manage it properly until after the election. Where after election, the sad part is who cares? It's already after election. Uh, they have another 4 more years again to work things out. So that's why this year can be a year where you see everything is status quo. The Democrats will try their best to maintain whatever it is. If the economy is not good, they will do something, you know, uh, said, okay, we'll be cutting. We will not increase the interest rates. We will not cut it so fast, but we will cut this. We will withdraw less because the cap is 95. All right, we will withdraw less, and then we'll see. So this is something that we need to look into detail, because traditionally election years are bullish years for the economy. Yeah, so we have to take this into consideration, and we'll see in the coming weeks. But first, we have to deal with in 2 weeks' time, we will be dealing with the potential some market volatility with Mike Johnson insisting that he won't be delaying, there won't be a stopgap measure anymore. And with that, there should be a very strong conclusion. If there's no strong conclusion, there's a possibility that the US will go into a shutdown, and that's going to cause some minor correction in the market until a decision is reached, whereby you know the the funds are being approved and the government can spend again. Okay, so in next 2 weeks, just watch out this news. So with that, that's the end of the fundamental report for today. Next, let's move